Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Aren't you guys glad you're in cryptocurrency? Right now, the market cap is at $331.3 billion. That's right. Increasing by leaps and bounds every single day, guys. And XRP secured tightly in that number 3 spot. Right now, $10.9 billion is the market cap for XRP. It surpassed Tether a couple of days ago, and it's surpassing Tether by about $1 billion. So holding tight in that number 3 spot right now. Bitcoin trading just over 11,100, up 2.01% in the last 24 hours. Ethereum trading at 342, up 7.56%, and XRP right now trading at 0.245, so 24.5 cents, up 0.43%. And the charts are continuing to look bullish. You can see Bitcoin here on the hourly. Not a lot of downward momentum. The downward movement that we are seeing is insignificant compared to what we've seen on the upside, and we are still making higher lows. And the highs are, we haven't breached this high for Bitcoin of about 11,400, but we are coming close. And let me just draw a trend line here. The trend, though, is still making higher lows. So you guys can see here, Bitcoin dipped down to this point here back on July 28th. And then back to this point here on July 30th, just yesterday. Ultimately, though, that trend is moving upward. And guys, if you look at XRP on the same time frame, you can see that that trend looks even better, believe it or not, than Bitcoin's trend. A steeper incline for XRP here, and the high for XRP topped out at about almost 25 cents, just shy of 25 cents, 0.24999, at least on this exchange. And you can see they bottomed there, and there was another bottom here, okay, and another one here. All right, so you guys can see that that upward trend, very, very healthy for both Bitcoin and XRP, and I'm sure you'd find the same kind of thing for many other cryptocurrencies. So this is it, guys. I think we are officially looking very, very bullish. Of course, that is not confirmed until we can get over certain price points that we still need to breach. So this price point here from back in mid-February, 37.347 cents for XRP. We still need to pierce through that in order to confirm this bullish trend. Let's look at Bitcoin real quick here. And Bitcoin, get rid of some of that. Bitcoin here, we breached this level, the $10,500 level. Now we're looking to breach this level up here, so that would be $12,300 for Bitcoin. But guys, it looks like we are on that trajectory. We aren't too far off from all-time highs, 20,000. And after $20,000, the sky's the limit. That's when everybody is going to go bonkers. And Joe Rogan, guys, starting this ball rolling. You guys know Joe Rogan? I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. He is a stand-up comedian originally, but also started this podcast, and now he's telling his 200 million listeners to buy Bitcoin. So this is going to be good for mainstream adoption. Podcaster Joe Rogan used the first few minutes of a recent episode to read an advertisement for his sponsor Cash App. So they're sponsoring him, but he's telling people that he's into Bitcoin. So this is going to get a lot of mainstream traction, I think, and that could help the crypto market keep moving forward. So on July 28th, Rogan adopted his customary tone. He plugged his sponsors, going on to state some serious technical points about Bitcoin, like stacking sats. As he puts it, Bitcoin is a transformational digital currency that acts as a decentralized peer-to-peer payment network powered by its users with no central authority. I love it, he says. I wish it was the way we exchange currency, and maybe it will be in the future. Get on board. What's a sat, Joe? And so he kind of, I think, knew what it was. The podcaster most likely aware that many of his 200 million or so listeners, triple the listeners of Alyssa Milano, according to the actress, may not be familiar with the term sats, speculated on who Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto really was. So I think he's a little confused here. Sure, sats does mean Satoshi, but it's not in reference to Satoshi Nakamoto. It is the smallest unit a Bitcoin can be divided into. So maybe a little confused there, maybe doesn't really understand everything about Bitcoin. But the point is, 200 million listeners. This guy's got one of the most popular podcasts on YouTube, and so this is going to be great to propel cryptocurrency adoption once, especially once we surpass that $20,000 mark for Bitcoin. This is what's going to get the ball rolling, guys. It's not just one thing, it's many things, a perfect storm. That's how we're going to see our cryptos rise. And this from Michael at Val5Links, not good. The United States printing more money in June than it did in the first 2 centuries of its founding, Moorhead wrote. So this is an article from Cointelegraph. In a letter to investors released on July 29th, Pantera Capital CEO Dan Moorhead noted that the United States has printed a shocking amount of money to combat the pandemic-induced financial crisis. The United States printed more money in June than in the first 2 centuries after its founding, Moorhead wrote. Last month, the U.S. budget deficit, $864 billion, was larger than the total debt incurred from 1776 through the end of 1979. So guys, do I have to read further? I think that kind of puts it in perspective for those of you guys who still might not realize the kind of trouble the U.S. is printing themselves into. Okay, and this is only one sign that we're getting here. We're also getting other signs here, like this tweet from Greg Manorino. When you hear this from a super bank who wants you in the dollar, you know to do the opposite. This article titled, "Gold Has No Role in Portfolio of Wealthy Clients," says Goldman manager. Gold has no role, really? Yeah, I would agree with Gregory here. Probably very prudent to do the opposite of what they're telling you. Do as they do, not as they say. So that's the message from Sharman Mosavar Ramani, Chief Investment Officer of Private Wealth Management at Goldman Sachs, who thinks that gold is very overpriced and has no clear role in the portfolios of her private clients. Our view is that gold is only appropriate if you have a very strong view that the US dollar is going to be debased, which I think many people should have that view, considering how much money is just being pumped into the system, how much is being printed as per this last article. So we don't have this view, she says. We think the dollar maintains its status as the reserve currency. The dollar can cheapen a little bit because it's moderately overvalued, but that doesn't mean it's going to be debased, that we are going to have huge inflation, and that gold is a good substitute. So they're saying, if you believe in the dollar, there's no need for you to buy gold, because gold right now is trading very, very high. If I bring up gold, I'm just going to bring up gold per ounce here. Trading very high, $1,972 per ounce. And you can see ever since the economic downturn here in mid-March, you could see gold slumping. Obviously, a lot of people were liquidating everything. The stock market went down, crypto went down, much went down, but then a quick rebound, and gold right now trading $1,972 per ounce. So do you believe her? Put it down in the comments. Do you think that the US dollar is as strong as this Goldman Sachs chief investment officer is suggesting? During an interview on CNBC Thursday morning, Mosavar Ramani explained that her wealth management group has 2 factors that it focuses on when thinking about gold strategically and tactically. She said that gold isn't a great deflation hedge, doesn't generate any income, and isn't tied to economic growth and corporate earnings. So it fails the strategic hurdle as Goldman's wealth management crew assesses its relevance in a balanced portfolio. Guys, I will link the rest of this article in the description if you wish to continue to read about this school of thought here. Very counterintuitive to what we're seeing, in my opinion. Of course, everybody's got their own opinion as to what they feel is best to invest in at this moment in time. One thing I do know, they don't talk about crypto, but crypto, very, very good hedge against what we're seeing right now with the U.S. economy. Let's put up the S&P 500 right now. We still haven't seen the S&P reach its former all-time high up here. It's still kind of meandering, trying to get up there, but still hasn't reached it. So there's still a big question mark looming in the air. A lot of people saying, we do have a strong economy, and this is a pandemic. It has nothing to do with the fundamentals of our economy. Others are suggesting, the economy was hanging by a thread before all this was happening, and this is just the catalyst to get it to collapse. So different schools of thought there. Despite all this, though, and this is the good news, I saw this from XRP Crypto Wolf. 30 new XRP Whales have appeared in the past 2 weeks, which means some big investors are rethinking the cryptocurrency. So 30 new whales are gobbling up XRP in a sign some big investors are rethinking the XRP cryptocurrency. So the number of accounts holding more than 1 million XRP has increased by 3.7%, with 30 new whales appearing over the last 2 weeks, according to Sentiment's holder distribution chart. These investors now hold between 240,000 and 2.4 million in XRP each, which has contributed to upward pressure on price. After a fairly uninspiring few months, XRP has seen a price rise of over 30%, from 19 cents to 25 cents in a fortnight. At least 30 big investors with deep pockets believe the price rise is set to continue. And guys, here's a chart to that effect. This is the month of July, and you can see the price of XRP versus the amount of coins that are being hodled by the big guys, okay? 1 million to 10,000 coins, that's the line in gray. And then the price, this is the actual price chart for XRP in green here, so you guys can see more hodlers hodling. It takes more XRP now to be in that 1%. And you guys know the XRP rich list. I don't have to bring that up. There's no obvious reason behind this recent increase in whales, except for speculation. The token has reclaimed the number 3 spot, as we had mentioned before. Also, they talk a little bit about the lawsuit that was happening. Ripple was recently recognized in the bill proposal from the Bureau of Consumer Financial Protection in the U.S., so there was a reason there as well. Also, Craig DeWitt announced the P2P payment platform built on XRP, so there are a few reasons here that they're stating. And also, David Schwartz recently on that podcast with Barry Eschengreen suggested investors are turning to digital assets in general as a direct response to the threat of the post-pandemic inflation. And here's a quote to that. Some people believe increased liquidity in a market will lead to hyperinflation and are looking for investment opportunities that can maintain value if dollar prices soar. Gold is traditionally considered a safe bet, while digital assets are increasingly seen as a new inflation hedge. So, cryptocurrency, gold 2.0, we've heard that term before. Also, people realizing, look, Bitcoin's going up. Maybe I could buy some of this as a hedge against the dollar. And it's not just Americans, guys. You got to think about everybody around the world who is invested in the US dollar in one way, shape, or form. And so they might think, look, I don't want to have too much exposure to the US dollar, so I might hedge as well, put my money into cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or XRP or something similar. And as the economy continues with its uncertain trajectory, I happen to see this on Twitter. This is from Alex Saunders, and he posts this. Is it even legal? Can Aussie banks just stop accepting cash next month? Yeah, so he posted this, updates to his deposit options, this I guess from his bank in Australia. We're writing this to let you know that cash and check deposits at Westpac are set to change from July 1st. So cash deposits will be limited. They used to be unlimited, and now they are going to be limited to 7,500. That's going to happen on July 1st. By August 30th, cash deposits will cease being accepted at Westpac branches. And by December 30th, check deposits will cease being accepted at Westpac branches. Okay, so you're telling me my bank is not going to take cash or checks at all? Yeah, that's what this Australian bank is suggesting. So what are they doing? How can they do this? Is this part of a new world order? I mean, seriously, a lot of these banks now are doing the same thing. I mean, when you go into a branch, some of these newfangled banks, these new modern banks, they say, look, we don't even have cash here. If you need cash, go to the ATM. And so is this a bigger plan? This is from Steelborn. I think they're doing it in part to stop the black economy. They don't want to promote small cash jobs. All small businesses, i.e. lawn mowing, will need to declare all money they receive. It was questioned once for not putting the correct description against a few payments. He goes to continue here. Where's the continuation? Banks and the ATO in particular want to know what you spend your money on. Time to introduce Jassara Nasara. Bring back the gold standard. So this is really, really interesting, an interesting turn of events in 2020. I wanted to thank Alex Saunders for posting that. We also got this from DJ Peter Vass. Ripple is up on Google search 79% this week. That's right. When price rises, this tends to happen. So this is the Google search for Ripple, up 79% in the past week. And this tends to correlate with price. Generally, we see this with Bitcoin. Google searches tend to rise as the price rises. And now we're seeing it with Ripple as well. Not sure what the XRP statistics are for that, but at least for Ripple, as people still do call them Ripples sometimes, people are looking it up. That's the good news. Another one here from DJ Peter Vass. New Canadian stablecoin works with Ripple and Ethereum. So this, Blockchain Venture Capital Inc. BVCI is pleased to announce the launch of the CADT, a new digital currency in Canada, with the support of custodial services from Concentra Trust, leveraging BCVI's proprietary blockchain technology. It's the CADT. That's the stablecoin, and it's anchored and pegged to the Canadian dollar. So for all of you guys in Canada looking for an option to cash out of your cryptocurrency, there is now the CADT. And that's going to be big for Canadian traders. The CADT is distinct from the cryptocurrency stablecoin and centralized micropayments option currently available, in that users can exchange and redeem CADT into Canadian dollars and vice versa. CADT incorporates many of the advantages offered by traditional payment options, including currency stabilization, payment, clearing, and settlement features. So great news for Canadians. Now a stablecoin. We're seeing this happen around the world. The USDT Tether has been around for a while. The other day I was talking about the stablecoin paired on the BINANCE exchange to the Korean won, XRP paired to, what was it, the I don't remember the acronym, but it was the stablecoin for the Korean won. So we're seeing these pop up more and more with more traders. There's going to be a need for more cash out options, and since cryptocurrency is worldwide, traders live all around the world, it is probably a good idea to have a stablecoin option for all these different traders in all these different countries. So great news there. Thanks so much, DJ Peter Vass, for posting that. And Ripple, always giving their 2 cents with regards to cryptocurrency regulation. This from Ripple's Stuart Alderati. He explains how the U.S. can implement crypto regulations. The United States is lagging other world leaders when it comes to a comprehensive cryptocurrency regulatory framework. In a recent blog post, Ripple's Stuart Alderati outlined the path that the U.S. can take to catch up with the rest of the world. So a 74-year-old law, while echoing numerous Ripple executives, Alderati notes that American regulators have been treating the cryptocurrency industry differently compared to the internet in the 1990s. Instead of a hands-off approach, which birthed such internet giants as Google and Facebook, U.S. watchdogs scrutinized digital assets. The Security and Exchange Commission didn't rush to introduce new crypto regulations while applying its 74-year rule securities law to define digital assets. And here's just a diagram of how the Howey test works, guys. Even though reining in the ICO craze was a necessary step, Ripple routinely urged the regulators not to paint all coins with a broad brush, as we heard last summer. While the SEC confirmed that Bitcoin and Ethereum were not securities, there is no clarity surrounding XRP, the token promoted by Ripple that became the subject of multiple class action lawsuits against the company. So what can be done? Alderati claims that this predicament can be solved by Congress passing sensible law, thus keeping regulatory agencies in check. He also proposed the SEC to jointly create a framework for protecting the cryptocurrency market together with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. While praising SEC's crypto mom, Hester Pierce, for her safe harbor proposal, he also noted that the U.S. had to act quickly in order not to lose dominance to China. So guys, this has been an ongoing narrative. Don't lose dominance to China. Pull up your socks. Be sensible about this. The fire really should be under their butts in order to keep moving forward, but it seems as though heels are still being dragged, even though they are getting some sensible advice from the private sector, such as Stuart Alderati from Ripple. Nevertheless, we will eventually see some change. It's bad enough if the US were to cede a competitive edge to the likes of the UK, Japan, or Singapore. It would be a disaster if the US were to let communist China take control of this technology. Unfortunately, that is exactly where the industry seems to be heading. Wow. Don't know how you guys feel about that. Put it in the comments if you do believe that this statement is true, more or less true. Does the US still have an advantage? Can the US rectify this in time so as not to be superseded by China? Put it down in the comments. I'm curious to know what you guys have to say. This next one here, guys, from the Cryptic Poet at One Cryptic Poet on Twitter. Ripple says XRP lawsuit based on unsupported leaps of logic. We heard about the lawsuit and how it was moved from one district to another, or rather having all of the lawsuits happening in California now, comes in response to accusations that Ripple failed to register XRP as a security, so we know that. Ripple's legal team said lead plaintiff Bradley Sostak's allegations relating to Ripple's purported misrepresentations about XRP were based on unsupported leaps of logic. That's a quote. Sostak has not been able to explain why the alleged statement made by Garlinghouse are false. They claim Ripple's team also took aim at Sostak's artful pleading, saying he studiously avoids absolutes in his allegation. The class action lawsuit was originally filed in May 2018. As one example, in the original complaint, plaintiffs allege Garlinghouse stated on December 14, 2017, that he was very, very long XRP as a percentage of his personal balance sheet. So he's going based on that statement there. Bradley Garlinghouse said he's very, very long, probably meaning, in essence, that he realized how long it would take for Ripple to build out the rails, for Ripple to kind of make the ecosystem grow organically, allow XRP usage to infiltrate all corners of the globe. Well, first of all, the globe's round. There are no corners to the globe, but I think you guys know what I mean here. Around the same time, Garlinghouse is claimed to have sold 67 million XRP, and this is a misrepresentation, plaintiffs argue, coming at a time, he said, when he was long on the cryptocurrency. So this guy, stating his arguments are kind of wishy-washy, to say the least. Here's the full filing for the Ripple lawsuit down here below, if you guys are interested in that legal stuff. I'm going to keep moving, though, guys, because I wanted to bring this up as well. This from XRP Crypto Wolf. Ripple paid $15.1 million in market development fees to MoneyGram. Now, some of you guys may think, okay, what's Ripple doing? They're paying MoneyGram. They're supporting them so much financially in order for XRP to succeed. Is this really a feasible option for the XRP token to thrive? You can't just keep throwing money at a problem. Well, you got to remember, Ripple owns a 10% stake in MoneyGram now, so they have a vested interest in MoneyGram's growth and success. According to a Q2 earnings report published by money transfer company MoneyGram, it received $15.1 million worth of market development fees from Ripple in the second quarter. Its operating expenses include an $8.8 million net benefit from the paid incentive that was partially offset by a $6.3 million worth of pertinent transactions and trading expenses. And so Ripple keeps paying millions. Ripple, which now has a 10% stake in MoneyGram, announced its strategic partnership back last June. As we know, the soundness of their partnership, however, was called into question after MoneyGram reported its full year 2019 financial results. So they're saying it wasn't that great after consulting with the SEC. Blah, blah, blah. In Q1 alone, Ripple paid $16.6 million to MoneyGram, which was followed by the most recent $15.1 million compensation. One thing I've got to say is that, when a company is invested in another company, when they own a stake in another company, and they want to see the success of their technology, $15 million to Ripple isn't a lot of money in the grand scheme of things. It's an investment. They are using MoneyGram's local destinations, their placement around the world, in order to open new rails for ODL, in order to, kind of maneuver so that ODL really takes off globally. Now, of course, we know cryptocurrency regulatory clarity around the world isn't there yet, but they are setting it up. They're setting up the rails. And so this $15.1 million investment for marketing and such sounds like it makes sense to me, because you got to get the word out there, right? If MoneyGram isn't number one, which it is not, Western Union right now is the number one company that does remittances in, at least in the United States, you have to use those marketing dollars in order to promote your brand, in order to maybe revitalize your brand a little bit, saying, hey, look, we're the new MoneyGram. Use us. We can do this instantly. We're partnered with Ripple, so on and so forth. So $15.1 million, not a large sum in the grand scheme of things, but I did think this was interesting because it does show, obviously, Ripple still does have a vested interest in MoneyGram doing well. Another article here, guys, from the XRP Arcade, Ripple making waves in China and Malaysia. And so we heard about this from the Fireside Chat a few weeks ago, that Ripple was keen to expand to China and that the company did transact with some Chinese nodes at the time. But there was very little indication in what he was referring to. This from Marcus Treacher from that Fireside Chat. But it seems as though Ripple has been working under the radar with various banks and institutions in China and Malaysia for the better half of 2020. So on December 12, 2019, Ripple signed an MOU with the Asia Pacific Investment Bank, APIB, the Nanjing Digital Finance Industry Research Institute, and the Bank of Jiangsu. And so according to the announcement, the four parties would work together to promote the construction and application of cross-border payment innovation channels based on blockchain, and on this basis promote the deepening use of most financial products, such as the conversion of the RMB, the renminbi, the Chinese currency, and small currencies. So this was brought to our attention by Stephen Dieppe. I don't know if you guys follow him on Twitter. He's a source of some great information with regards to Ripple and XRP. So the Asia Pacific Investment Bank was established by the Asia Pacific Wenjing Financial Group. The Asia Pacific Wenjing Financial Group is established overseas in Malaysia by a Chinese state-owned enterprise as a financial demonstration window for providing international financial services for the Belt and Road countries. So just down here gives you some of the partnerships here, including Ripple, Maybank, Kananga, RHB Bank, and some others that I don't recognize. But interesting to note that Ripple is or has been working with China and Malaysia for the first half, the better part of 2020 thus far. And so keeping it under the radar, giving us potentially more surprises down the road. AsiaDB has actively cooperated with many well-known technology partners around the world to steadily push forward the construction of the Ocliven digital asset operation platform. After conducting 2 internal system tests on June 25th and July 7th, AsiaDB invited a number of well-known experts in the field of digital finance, including Ripple, to have a symposium on the challenges of the Ocliven digital asset operation platform before the official launch in Shanghai, China. So Ripple looking to work with everybody around the world, including China. Obviously, their play is global, and it is going to ultimately rely on a global infrastructure for XRP and Ripple to be successful. Guys, I'll link this in the description for those of you guys who want to read further. But speaking to global success, I got to get onto this. This from XRP Crypto Wolf, Washington, D.C. group of 30, G30 steering committee and working group on digital currencies posted a new report, Digital Currencies and Stablecoins. So this with regards to wholesale CBDCs, coordinating the introduction of global official sector and stablecoins. A systemic hegemonic currency could, for example, be a stablecoin backed by a basket of deposits at different central banks. It is possible that such a stablecoin could be valuable for cross-border payments, serving a function similar to that offered in the private sector by Ripple, a real-time gross settlement system, currently exchange and remittance network whose digital currency XRP leapfrogs slow and expensive correspondent banking. So they did mention XRP and Ripple in this stablecoin announcement. This again from the Digital Currencies and Stablecoins Risk Opportunities and Challenges Ahead, the G30. Group of 30 from Washington, D.C., published in July 2020, so just this month. But that was another piece of information, USA related. What I wanted to talk about are the global implications that Ripple and XRP will have. And I saw this originally from I Am Legion at Payson268498860 on Twitter. And guys, it all starts with Accenture. And so the question I have to ask myself, is there a trifecta that includes SWIFT, by the way, that will really kind of propel this cryptocurrency adoption globally? And is it in front of our eyes? Have we been missing it all along? So I Am Legion posted this. It's been SWIFT and Ripple's plan all along. The work started the same way as Sweden CBDC and the digital dollar. It started with Accenture's help. And so he posts some screen grabs here back from 2016. SWIFT and Accenture outline a path to distributed ledger technology adoption within financial services. Okay, so that sounds interesting. Over here, by March 2018, SWIFT completes landmark DLT proof of concept. And then here, by January 2019, SWIFT to bring benefits of GPI to DLT and trade ecosystems. Now, they've been working with Accenture since 2016, and if SWIFT is working with Accenture to outline a DLT payment infrastructure, and they've been doing this for the past 4 years now, started in 2016, finished their landmark DLT proof of concept by 2018, and then by 2019 wanted to bring about GPI. If this is the case and Accenture is a critical part of this, then what does this mean to you guys? This is an article from October 2015, okay? So before SWIFT and Accenture even inked their deal, Accenture has struck an alliance with Ripple, an enterprise company providing cross-currency settlement solutions for financial institutions. Through the use of the firm's low overhead and fast ledger systems, banks can, according to the firm, considerably decrease their costs in the payment domain while increasing oversight and transaction reliability. Now, this is important, guys. As part of the deal, Accenture will integrate Ripple's products in its advisory services to clients. So Accenture, guys, already Ripple enabled. And so if Accenture is Ripple enabled, who do you think is helping SWIFT outline a path to distributed ledger technology? Once that DLT proof of concept is done, they implement GPI. But guys, the question remains, is it all running on Ripple? Could a Ripple Swift Accenture trifecta ultimately transform the world we live in? We can't see it because Ripple's been integrated with Accenture since 2015, and so could it be working behind the scenes in order to get the Internet of Value up and running? Last tweet here, guys, I saw from the Bearable Bull, and him retweeting this from Bob Way, originally back in April 2019. And so this originally tweeted from Darren, XRP Darren on Twitter. I believe I can see the future, and he shows XRP connected to all the different currencies worldwide and how it'll play a central role in transferring value. Then Bob Way responds, I like that diagram, but you have to imagine the circle with 180 fiat currencies plus gold, silver, and some other cryptos as well. Only then do you realize the magnitude of how many direct market combinations there are in the top diagram. To me, that sounds life-altering for the world of finance. And it also makes me really, really excited that I'm hodling XRP, but that's just my opinion, guys. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.